Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Physics 20, Kinematics number 5, Gravity or Things Fall, Part 2. Mr. S throws a third water balloon down. It hits the ground at 20.1 meters a second. What was its initial velocity? Now, here, I throw the ball down, and I'm giving you V final, 20.1 meters per second. The rest of the table, acceleration equals G minus 9.81 meters per second squared. Now, I just made it boo-boo. V final is negative 20 because I'm going down. Displacement is still minus 12 meters. That's for time. So, V initial. I do not have time. I got V final, acceleration, displacement. Once again, V final squared. I'm getting tired of that equation. I have to come up with something else. Velocity final squared, velocity initial squared plus 2AD. Getting tired of this equation, but such is life. Minus 20.1 meters per second squared equals the initial. I threw it down so it's not 0. So let's grab Mr. Calculator and do some calculations here. Oh, come on, wakey, wakey. Clear. Now, if you're going to do this with the negative sign, remember, negative 20.1 close bracket squared, 404.01. Now, 2 times negative 9.81 times negative 12, 235. Now be careful here, because all these negative signs can get confusing. But notice here, a negative number squared is positive, and two negative numbers, negative 9.81 and negative 12 multiplied, become positive. That's usually the biggest thing you screw up on, plus the minuses. Now, from here on in, it's pretty straightforward. V initial squared plus 235, so subtract 235 from both sides. So, and notice with the fancy calculator, we can just scroll up. 404 minus the other. That one equals 168.57 meters squared per second squared. And then we just do square root of our answer. And we're getting 12.98. So V initial, sorry, color code, Mr. Sutton, color code. Last question. Is that plus or minus? That's minus 13.0 meters per second. So I'm throwing it down. All right? So that's how that goes. Any questions so far? Well, good. Now, moving on. 2 more questions and we're done. How long did it take to hit the ground? Well, this is the same question as back here. Minus 13.0 meters a second. Now, and I forgot to draw a picture. I really should be doing that. So, how long did it take to hit the ground? We have to find time. Notice we've got V initial, V final, acceleration, displacement, all the other numbers, or all the other variables. So what is the absolute easiest equation to use? I think this one. Velocity final equals velocity initial plus AT. Add 13 meters a second to both sides. This is minus 7.1 meters per second equals minus 9 meters per second squared times time. And then minus 9.81 times time. How do you get rid of times negative 9.81? Divide both sides by negative 9.81. So time equals, and I can't do that in my head, getting old. So that is negative 7.1 divided by negative 9.81. And note, it's a negative by a negative, so it's going to be positive. You don't, the minus signs cancel out. 0.7 of a second. Because I threw it at a good speed, and it didn't have that far to go. If it started at 13 meters a second, going 12 meters, yeah, it's going to be less than a second. All right? Now, last question. Sydney, the astronaut, is on the moon. She drops a 1.2 kilogram tool, and it falls 33 meters. If the final velocity is 9.9 meters a second, what's acceleration due to gravity on the moon? She drops a tool, it falls. The initial is 0. The final is minus 9.9 meters per second squared. Acceleration is g moon, which we don't know. It's not 9.81. Displacement is minus 33 meters. We don't know the time. So we have to solve for acceleration, and we don't have time, and poopy, it's that equation again. I'm going to have to rewrite these notes. Times a, sorry, times minus 33 meters. Now I cannot do this in my head, but Mr. Calculator's handy. Bracket negative 9.9, close bracket squared. Oh, what's your issue? 9.9. Getting old, 98.01. So how do I get rid of times minus 66? Divide both sides by minus 6 meters. So acceleration becomes 1.485. Okay, well, that's it for me. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, watch a video again and work on the worksheet. Good luck.